Hey guys, it's Benjamin Zamish, author of Creating Freedom and the founder of Move, Learn, Create. And welcome back to the Manic Serenity, where I am helping people to become more receptive to the magic of this life, to consciously align ourselves with the fundamental mechanics of creation so that we can evolve further into our human potential, into this incredible possibility that's bubbling up inside all of us, driving us all crazy. So this is episode 14 of the Manic Serenity. I'm so excited. We are going to talk about negativity, haters, criticism, sticks, and stones. So let's get right into it. Have you ever felt, or I should say, how often do you feel attacked and judged by the world, like your good intentions and positive efforts are just being thwarted at every turn by the unbelievable negativity of so many haters? I mean, does it seem, how often does it seem, how intense is it when you feel this way, when you feel like there's just too much pessimism, too much anger, too much vitriol? I mean, look at the comment section on any big YouTube page. It's just unbelievable. And does it feel like it's all just too much for anyone to really break free and enter the rare air of actual liberation in the world? And what I mean by liberation in the world is liberation in your own experience of the world. Is it possible for anyone to just become untouched by these things that have grown to such unbelievable proportion, and this negativity that has the ability to affect us and reach us in so many ways? I mean, it's impossible, it seems like, for us to be involved in anything, to care about anything, without being exposed to all of this, that just pulls us back. So I've definitely felt this way in my life, felt overwhelmed by it all, felt like it's sometimes that apathy was the only way. I mean, how can you progress without just simply deciding that you don't care? And I'm so much of a loner, and I've kept to myself for so long, and especially, my dreams. I guarded my dreams and my ambitions and my vision so fiercely and just kept it inside my little bubble. And I think because of that also, I always took criticism with so much weight. I mean, for so long, I let the negativity of others really affect my ability to believe in myself. And it's hard to acknowledge the degree to which we allow this to play a role in our lives. But when you're really honest with yourself and you really dive deep and you look at it, it's hard to ignore the devastating role that we let this opinion, this outside opinion that we perceive from so many directions. It's impossible to ignore how much we let that affect us. So I looked at all the hate and the judgment projected onto others, people who were out there sharing their story and sharing their authentic self. And I just thought, like, how devastating that would be if it were turned on to me, if I ever did stand up and let my little light shine. So I got to work. I knew this was a problem, and I dove deep into it. I tried to get out ahead of this. I read all the books. I learned how to detach myself from negativity. I surrounded myself with positive influences and tried to make myself constantly exposed to positive situations, inspiring events, positive people, more yoga, more meditation, more travel, everything that I could do to just banish pessimism and judgment from my world. And it worked. It worked to help get me going. It really did. It helped me to believe in myself enough to put myself out there and be okay with exposing myself and exposing who I really was. I came out of my hermitage and I started to share my journey and perspectives with the world. And I wouldn't have been able to do this, definitely would not have been able to do this, if I hadn't removed, really in a drastic way, if I hadn't removed all of the negativity from my life. And now, even though I'm just at the beginning of this new journey, I'm so much further ahead than I could have dreamed of just a short time ago. But that is not the whole story, is it? I mean, it's easy to remove all negativity when you live in a bubble. It's pretty easy to detach from everything and everyone who doesn't serve you when you're just trying to break free from your old patterns and start a new journey. But once you're on that new journey, once you find your own freedom and life compels you to share your gifts and your tools with others, I mean, all of that old negativity and judgment is going to find a way back into your experience. So now we have to find a way to look at these things in a new light. I mean, once you commit to something that you're not going to turn back from, you can't just burn bridges anymore. So we have to find a way to actually deal with this in a permanent way that is a solution and not dependent on our ability to control and manipulate a situation that involves others. You know, we have to take responsibility in a way that allows us to be completely in control of our inner well-being. It's the only possible way we're going to be able to continue to progress on this endless journey of expansion that is, you know, the human possibility, a limitless experience of expansion. So we have to find a new perspective on the issue of haters. We have to figure out how to withstand criticism and judgment from everyone and everywhere, you know, in our life, everything that may enter our experience, because now we're not going anywhere. You know, we're on our path, we're on our hero's journey, and we just can't detach and run away anymore. That trick worked once and everybody needs to learn it. I mean, maybe I should make a different video just on that part of it. I think I will actually. I have one about burning your bridges. Sometimes it's necessary to do that. You know, sometimes you have to take drastic measures to get started. And I'm always here, you know, trying to create urgency and you know, wake that part of you up that is relentlessly trying to push you and drive you forward in the direction that you know to be, you know, true to your spirit and in line with who you really are. But once you're on that journey, I mean, once you're doing that, you can't just pull the same move that we did back before we had our feet planted, you know, firmly on our path, because we're committed. We've found what matters to us, and we've involved ourselves in it completely. And that is the only way to live fully. So once we're doing that, I mean, there comes a point on the journey where you're going to have to learn how to develop a solid rock on which to stand, you know, a perspective that will stand by you no matter how fierce the storm around you rages. You know, you're going to have to find a way to be secure. We absolutely have to reconcile this issue that we all have with how we're affected by the judgment of others. And two of my favorite takes on this issue are from Robin Sharma and Brendan Burchard. These are two people who have influenced me to an unbelievable degree, perhaps more than everyone else combined on my journey, and I have so much gratitude for them and how much they've offered and continue to offer to everybody on this journey of personal mastery. And the bottom line is that, first of all, like, first thing that has to be addressed, the ratio of the haters, the criticizers, the outspoken opponents, the ratio of these people to people who support you, the ratio of those intensely negative people to the really positive people is like 1 to 1,000. I mean, that's it. Like, rejection and judgment just aren't as overwhelmingly present as we allow ourselves to believe. We just have the tendency and the habit of focusing in and giving way too much attention to those things when we see them, even if they have nothing to do with us. Like I said at the beginning, I used to take negativity that I saw projected onto others, and then for some reason, I would like play this game in my imagination where I turned that possibility onto myself and already suffered it, even though I wasn't even involved in the process at all. And I think this is the majority of what we're experiencing. We're projecting it onto ourselves when it's actually not being directed at us. So that's the first thing. I mean, one hater to 1,000 supporters. And this, I love this. I mean, that's the haters have become the yardstick by which your success is measured. I mean, it's hard to keep track of all your supporters because there's thousands for every one. We should be celebrating every time we have an outspoken hater because that's like a checkpoint for us. We know that there's 1,000 people behind them who are impacted in a positive way. So that's the first thing. And that on the surface level, that is so necessary to like get that through our heads and just release the majority of the inner turmoil and the tension that we are experiencing around this issue of negativity. But it goes so much deeper than that. I mean, think of the state of connectedness that we are all in today's world. I talk about this all the time, this incredible time to be alive that allows us all to shine and to not only to find our unique voice, but in the process of doing that, to find an audience for that unique voice. You know, it's such an incredible time to be alive, and the opportunity for us to connect and take risks and be heard and affect people in a positive way. It's just never been the way it is today. It's never been so accessible. It's unbelievable, the opportunity that we all have to touch others that we've never had before. And it boils down to the fact that there are so many of us out here. There are so many people. We can't even really comprehend, numbers into the billions. We don't really know what that means. I mean, like I heard, and I did the math on it, it's right. 1,000,000 seconds ago is 12 days ago. 12 days ago, 1,000,000 seconds. 1,000,000,000 seconds ago is over 32 years. I mean, there are like 7.5 billion people on this planet. We're all out here struggling. We all have a unique journey. We all have unique challenges. We're all at a different part in our journey, and we need unique voices to help us. We need unique perspectives. It does not matter who you are, where you're at, or what your opinion is. There are millions of people actually who can benefit in a huge way from your perspective, from your voice, from what you've learned or what you've gone through, or just simply in knowing that you are going through that similar thing right now. I mean, the possibility is too incredible really to even comprehend it. So you've all been through something that can help millions of other people to progress and overcome challenges. I mean, you have to think about how incredible that actually is. We've just never been at a point in time where we've had to deal with that kind of possibility and also that kind of exposure that comes from sharing your unique journey. These are things that, were guarded, were private, were unknown. People lived and died, and they never had a platform or it was never a possibility. You never really thought about sharing your story and exposing yourself, and now we're all doing it constantly without really looking into what it is that we're doing and how we have to prepare for that and what perspectives we need to cultivate and maintain in order to handle that process. Okay, so it's very important that we take the time to kind of root ourselves in some degree of clarity here about the way that we are now living. All right, so and this is a consequence of the incredible reality of the modern day age with the internet. So you have a cell phone, okay, which is an international marketing deal. You realize, and you have unique life experience. That's it. That's all you really need to make your way, and that's all you need to help others find their way. But if this is true, all right, and everyone is at a different stage of their journey, then everyone needs a different perspective, or at least a different kind of delivery for the message, for the perspective, right? They need it to come from a certain type of voice. Otherwise, they won't be able to hear it. It won't resonate with them. So what this means is that no matter who you are and what your message is, it can never resonate with everyone. Okay? That's the other side. And so really, in fact, no matter what it is that you're selling or that you're offering freely as truth, it will come in direct opposition to the vast majority of people on the planet. It's going to directly oppose the viewpoint of most people on the planet, no matter what that truth is. That is the reality. That's the flip side of the coin. I mean, that's the double-edged sword of this incredible possibility. And that's why clarity is necessary for if we're going to live happily in this new state of, the world that none of us really had a chance to prepare for. So you absolutely cannot avoid this. You just have to see it and be aware of it. And then, think about, like, I don't know, they crucified Jesus, right? You realize that? They crucified Jesus, like with nails and hammers and stuff. And we're all pretty sure he was on the right track with his message. So what do you think? Like, that same world has no right to criticize you and your voice? I mean, come on, just let it go, right? And then maybe take a step further and be grateful for this whole situation. Be grateful for the incredible reality that has made this problem possible. You know what I mean? Take it further. See into the positive aspect of it. Look at the opportunity. Have the awareness and the maturity to get over the little bit of negative, the little negative aspect of this incredible opportunity, and then focus on and be grateful for the opportunity. And then go deeper than that and send love and support to all the people who are out there struggling, who are searching for truth, who are at unique points in their journey trying to find their way. Start using this criticism if you are making your voice heard, if you are trying to help people, or even if you're just viewing from a neutral perspective, or what you think is a neutral perspective. If you're just kind of viewing the goings on of the world, use this criticism and this negativity that's always there to fuel you to keep going, to help you, stay motivated to strive and find new ways of being, new tools for transformation, to help you want to reach higher and be able to give back and help even more people. Isn't that a better approach? I mean, isn't that more productive than just commiserating with each other and focusing on the negativity and really allowing our energy and attention to be swept away in the current of this negativity? You cannot give your focus and your attention to that side of the coin without becoming involved in that side of the coin. You have to deliberately take action to pull yourself out and turn your energy and your focus and your intention and pour it into the positive side, pour it into the possibility. So don't allow yourself to fall backwards into that place where you need to be detached from all perspectives other than your own. Right? I mean, don't allow your weakness to stifle the expression of life that's trying to burst through you and into the world. Right? I mean, bring yourself to this place where you can take advantage of the opportunity, where you can share your gift, where you can share your story, share your perspective, where you can help others. Because deep down, the reason that all this negativity affects you so deeply is because in your core, you're a good person who wants to help others. We all do. We're just at different parts of our journey and we're focusing on the wrong things. So when we turn that around, right, and we move forward in a sensible way and we continue to cultivate clarity and develop perspective, you're going to find yourself in a place of unimaginable strength, right? And you'll be saying, like I am, look, if you throw stones at me, I'm just going to use them to build your home. All right, guys, that's episode 14. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely do so. Share this with anyone and everyone that you think might benefit from it. And of course, go in the description for this video. There's tons of free resources available for you, free mini courses, a free ebook that I'm so incredibly proud of and can't wait for you to read. And please hit reply on that email and let me know what you think. Ask me any questions, any question at all, and I will address it, and we will go from there, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.